Welcome to this week's Future Toolbox podcast. We explore the Z to A of life skills, where each letter stands for a topic and essential tool to help you get ahead in life. Meet Jules and Mark, creators of the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox, and enjoy their straightforward approach to creating growth mindsets that help people turn their dreams into realities. Whether you're a teen in education, a parent, a teacher, or part of a community group, start creating positive habits from today.
Hello everybody and welcome to the latest Z2A podcast with myself, Mark and Jules, creators of the multi-award winning Future Toolbox.
Hello and welcome.
Now this is where we pick a letter and a topic and we discuss how you can use our tools to improve your own personal development and life. And it is now time to reveal this week's letter.
Oh, reveal. It sounds like I've got an envelope that I'm just opening.
Open that envelope.
Open that envelope and I'm going to reveal that the letter is F, standing for Feel Good February.
Feel Good February.
Yeah, we're going to look at your self-care and make you feeling really, really good through the month of February. Because let's face it, it's the month of love, isn't it? So let's look after ourselves.
Of course, yeah, we've got Valentine's Day, haven't we? Sometimes as well, though, people find it really hard to be really upbeat this time of year because we've had a long winter. It's dark and it's probably still cold, isn't it? So how do you make yourself feel good in February if you're feeling not so good?
Well, I think first of all, it's really important that obviously you tell the people that you love that you really care for them. But we're going to look at ways and use this feel-good February energy that we want to create to get you to check in with your own self-care and get you to love yourself.
Yeah, so love your friends, love your family, love your loved one, but also love yourself with some self-care.
So let's blast away the wintry blues with our fabulous feel-good February ideas. There's lots of F's in there, isn't there?
There is.
I love it.
What have you got in that envelope? Have you got anything else in there?
Yeah, we're going to give you some ideas, but one of the things that we're going to challenge our listeners to do is to record through journaling all the things that you do each day to make you feel good. Because at the end of the day, whether you do it then or whether you do it in the morning, what you did the day before, that's going to either end your day or begin your day feeling good because you know that you've done something really good.
This is a really good idea because tracking things keeps you not only on track, but you can look back and celebrate those progression moves every single day. So yeah, journal it, write it down. Fantastic. What's the first little tip you're going to give from that envelope you've got? Very big envelope.
So that's your challenge to start with. But one of the things that I'd like you to think about doing is getting outdoors for 20 minutes every single day. Don't put them obstacles in front of you like, oh, I haven't got time. Oh, it's terrible weather. Get outside, get blown away with that wind and that rain and whatever that's going on. It doesn't matter. It's only water.
It is.
But yeah, blow away the cobwebs and make every effort to get outdoors every single day.
Yeah, just walking around the area that you live in is really, really simple. And I remember both of us making a conscious effort to do this when we went into the lockdown times. And then we kept it up afterwards because maybe if we'd had a day working at home where we're working on tasks which could be quite challenging and all of a sudden we realised, oh, I haven't been outside today. So it was just a case of popping your coat on, popping your waterproofs on if you needed to, even your wellies, depending on where you live. And yeah, we were just getting outside and thinking, wow, this is fantastic. And you come back feeling more energised.
Absolutely. I always used to go out first thing. I'd get up, have a cup of tea, get myself going, do my usual sort of little dance in the kitchen. I still do that. I still dance around and go out. And sometimes I'd be out for half an hour. Sometimes I'd be out for an hour. But I'd come back absolutely fired up and ready for the day. I know that that's not always possible. And we had things to do that I couldn't do it, but that's generally how I would start my day. And I still love to do something really exercisey first thing. So fresh air is a great mood boost.
Actually, there's quite a few in there because you said about getting outdoors. You also said about doing the little dance as well. And that also makes you feel quite good, doesn't it? Boosts your mood.
It does.
I'm going to pick the next one, which is looking at ways to do maybe a 5-minute daily meditation. And again, we've talked in previous podcasts about meditation, and some people have the myth that you have to go and sit in a Buddha retreat at the top of a mountain and chant all sorts of wonderful chants. But meditation can just be something as simple as switching your mind off and relaxing for 5 minutes. It could be laying on the floor and just looking at the ceiling. It could be just putting on your favourite song and losing yourself in the lyrics, or maybe some instrumental music and losing yourself in the sounds that are coming from it. It doesn't have to be anything complicated, but 5 minutes a day, daily meditation, is just about literally switching your mind off and changing your mind from maybe the stress and the busyness of the day.
Yeah, so take time to relax and reset. Something else that I thoroughly enjoy doing is going and getting your favourite bath products. It could be like bath bombs or salts, whatever, maybe some candles. Take them up into your bathroom, get some music on and head off for a wonderfully long hot soak in the bath. So almost like your own home spa day or something.
Yeah, people love them spa days, and this will also save you a lot of money as well.
You can do this at home, so maybe put a mask on your face. Or I tell you what, I used to do the hair conditioning treatments, ones that I think they say you should put them on for sort of 5-10 minutes. Pop them on your hair, just light them candles, listen to that music. I often used to take a book in the bath.
You're talking about pampering yourself, really, aren't you? Just
absolutely.
Having that time, that downtime where you can just switch off and relax.
Yeah. And we're not saying you do that every day, because by the time you do all the things that we're telling you to do, you will certainly be saying, how am I supposed to fit this in, Mark and Jules? But enjoy one evening this February where you absolutely pamper yourself.
Yeah, of course. These are all just suggestions, not things to do all day, every day. So 20-minute walk, 5 minutes meditation, a spa day, that's all of a sudden taken a good few hours up. So yeah, do pick one or two that work for you and do them randomly and sporadically. I'm also going to suggest about maybe going somewhere that could be quite inspirational. One thing I used to love doing was popping into a bookshop and just walking around and picking a few books up off the shelf, and not necessarily buying the books, but just seeing what was out there. And from time to time, obviously, of course, I would buy a book, but just seeing what inspirational content's out there. This can also extend to going to the museum, which again was another one of my absolute favourite things to do. I just love, whenever I'm in Northampton, just popping into the museum, wandering around there, looking at what art gallery exhibitions on, looking at what theme they've got on that month. But also I love walking around the history bit, which has been exactly the same since I've been a kid. And it takes you through the history of the town, but it's so quiet. There's a lovely feel about it. There's a lovely aura about going into a museum, art gallery, bookstore, and just having that moment of quiet. And that almost sort of doubles up a little bit with meditation, because it switches your mind off from what's actually going on out there in the world with all the stresses and everything that's rushing around. And also, being authors, going to a bookstore and buying a book is a great way of supporting an author.
Absolutely.
Remember the independent ones though as well, not just the Harry Potter books and the Jamie Oliver cookbooks and everything like that. Those guys sell a lot of books, but go and find an independent author and read their book and support them.
How about making yourself feel good through what you're eating? Now, very often through New Year's resolutions or whatever, people think to themselves, right, okay, I'm going to cut out chocolate, or I'm going to cut out sugar, or maybe coffee or whatever. And often you fail because you say you're going to cut something out. So instantly you crave it because you know you can't have it. How about saying to yourself, right, I am now going to try and eat a variety of fruit and vegetables through the week. You don't have to do it every single day. You don't have to live by this 5-a-day rule or whatever it is. But try and eat healthier. So you're not thinking to yourself, I'm going to cut out that. You're thinking to yourself, I'm going to add some goodness into my life by eating a little bit healthier. And maybe it could be adding a bit of fruit to your breakfast. We do that every single day. We have some sort of fruit in our breakfast, whether it's a smoothie or we add it to the porridge. And by the time that you've got used to doing this and your body is fueled by the healthier fruit and veg that you're putting in there, you'll forget to eat the things that you want to cut out. That will just happen naturally.
I really like that. That's a good idea. And it's just reminding me of a tip that a friend actually did many years ago, was they wanted to cut out junk food snacks and replace them with eating a piece of fruit. And where they used to store the junk food in the cupboard, they removed that, cleared a little space, put a fruit bowl, and they put various different pieces of fruit in there. And then every time they went to the cupboard, they took out a banana or an apple or whatever it was and ate that instead. And all you're doing is you're replacing one habit with another habit, but it's a positive. You're not saying, I don't want this. You're saying, I want that. And that's the principles of goal setting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which leads me nicely on to, why not set some goals as well? Now, regular listeners to the Future Toolbox will know that we are mad about goal setting. We absolutely love it. And you will also know that goals don't have to be massive. They can be small goals. But why not set yourself a big goal? Think, okay, what is it that I want to achieve? What is it that I want to work towards in the next 6 months or the next 12 months or whatever your timeline's going to be? I had a friend who shared with me quite recently that they had a 2-year plan to move house and move to their dream place they want to live in. And there's a lot of steps involved in that, but they've said it's a 2-year plan. What was quite interesting was the last time we talked about their plan, it was a 5-year plan, but that's been brought forward by 3 years, not because time has passed, but because they've looked at different ways of how they can achieve this goal, this dream, or whatever you want to call it, in a shorter space of time. So perhaps get yourself daring really big and thinking, okay, where am I now? And what is it that I want to achieve? And then thinking about the steps along the way. How am I going to get there? And that's our 3 question direction. Where am I now? Where do I want to be? And how am I going to get there? Set yourself that big goal and think, right, what's the time limit I'm going to give myself to do this? And what are the steps that are involved in it? So dare to dream. That's my little tip there.
Dare to dream.
Yeah.
That'll make you feel good.
Absolutely.
How about this one? This is something that we all do. So I'm going to challenge you listeners to do something in February that you've been putting off. Because we all do it. You think, okay, I need to make that phone call, or I need to go round to so-and-so's house. I need to go and do whatever it is. Me, I have an appointment that I need to make and I keep putting it off. It's more that I get distracted rather than putting it off. But we've all got something that you need to do. So I'm challenging you to think about what is it that I keep putting off.
I'm sitting here at the moment in our recording studio, and on the top shelf is a load of junk. And I said, just before Christmas, I'm going to get some boxes. I'm going to sort that junk out on that top shelf up there. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm going to throw away what we don't need, because I can see there's some cushions up there. We don't need them. I can see those cushions. If anybody wants some cushions, just let me know. We'll send them to you.
Well, they're not.
No, let's just put them out. Yes. Let's put them in the bin. But perhaps that is the thing that we've been putting off. And it's because it's not a major problem. It's not an issue. It's just one shelf that needs sorting out. I'm going to sort that out. I'm going to sort out our recording studio.
That's what you're going to do this month.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I shall let you know in March whether you've done it or not. How about, though, I love doing this and I do this regularly, is organise your clothes, your wardrobe, your drawers, everything. Because what happens is you throw things in sometimes because you're in a rush and then you forget what you've got in there. But if you make some time to organise your wardrobe with everything in order so that you know where it is and what there is there. Firstly, you might find some clothes and think, oh, I forgot I got them, because I do that regularly. But equally, having that all organised and neat makes your mind feel neat as well.
Decluttering your mind is really, really key, isn't it? So those link really nicely together, because you might have been putting off organising your clothes or your cupboard. Then you can actually get round to organising it to make yourself feel better. And then the next thing you could possibly do, if there is stuff that you don't need, maybe take it to a charity shop, or if it's worth something to you, then perhaps sell it on one of the various selling sites.
True.
Again, this was a massive, massive thing we did when we moved, when we emigrated. We obviously had to clear out a lot of stuff. And I remember getting a little bit into selling on eBay and various different sites, and it actually became quite liberating.
You loved it.
I did. I got really addicted to it. I was checking my app all the time to see if anybody bid on stuff. But it wasn't necessarily about the money we made. The thing I found that really made me feel good was stuff was going to homes, to people that actually really wanted it. And I remember selling an item from the kitchen to a lady for about £2 or £3, and her eyes lit up when she came around to collect it on the doorstep. And in the end, I gave it to her for nothing. I said, look, the money's not important. I can tell that you really, really need that. And that was such a good feeling to actually give something to somebody. So giving to charity shops, decluttering, passing your stuff on to somebody else.
But it's not just about clothes and that. It can be, we've all got that drawer in the kitchen where things just get shoved in, don't they? Stuff like that can be sorted and made more organised. But whatever it is, whether it's clothes, whether it is that drawer, take a couple of hours this month and make yourself feel good because you've got organised and sorted.
Is that the carrier bag drawer where you stick all your carrier bags?
No. You have one where you just put all your letters and your stuff. All sorts of batteries, I remember.
Batteries, yeah. Do they work?
All sorts of odd stuff. You have this one drawer. Everybody has that one drawer.
One drawer with stuff in, yeah. Maybe our listeners could message us, get in touch and say what's the most random thing they've got in their most random thing drawer. I'm going to link right back to the one that we started with. We talked about getting outside earlier and getting some fresh air, which is obviously linked quite closely to exercise, which is a massive self-care activity. But how about looking at doing a workout routine that doesn't necessarily involve joining a gym or paying out lots and lots of money to do this? It could be doing a home workout. Now, you do a weights workout at home quite regularly.
Yeah.
And you use a free YouTube video that you follow to do that. And you also get lots of tips off of social media. To the extent now that you don't actually need the videos anymore, do you?
I've learnt so many different ways of doing the exercises that I want that I make my own up and I write them down and I do them. And I love it incredibly because it's something that I can do when I've got half an hour, 45 minutes free. I don't have to do it every day, but 2 or 3 times a week.
And that's, again, another key you just mentioned there. So saying you've got half an hour free, somebody might think, well, I haven't got half an hour free. But if you go and try and join a gym, you've got to get to the gym. It might take you half an hour to get there. You've got to do the workout. You've got to get home. You've got to get changed. Doing a half an hour routine or even a 15, 20-minute routine at home can save you so much time, give you so much inspiration, make you feel so much better, and also ultimately save you a big expensive fee. This could be something that you could do outside. You could go maybe for a run or a walk around the park, or it could be something where you set up a challenge with friends. Just be really, really creative and just think of different ideas. And of course, there's plenty of inspiration out there on social media and YouTube, as we say.
There is. It's all out there, and there's such a lot of it that doesn't cost you a penny. So the last one we're going to challenge you to do throughout February to make you feel better is lose the negativity. You're going to be amazed at how hard this can be because we are brilliant at saying negative things to ourselves and complaining and saying, oh, I'm not very good at this, or I can't do that, or I wish I could do that the same as somebody else does it. What I'm going to challenge you is to change your mindset, because we worked on that in January. Reset your mindset. So spend time trying to put a positive spin on everything. Oh my gosh, that's a hard challenge.
It is, isn't it? But Brit's are great at complaining. So instead of saying, right, I'm going to not be negative anymore, turn it into a positive and say, right, I'm going to be positive about that. I'm going to celebrate this little thing every single day. I'm going to look at ways to add positivity to my life.
Absolutely. So there's your Feel Good February challenges. And don't forget to journal it and write them down every day, what you've done, and tell yourself how much better this is making you feel. Now, if you haven't got a journal, strangely enough, we've got one that you can get.
Yeah, indeed. You can go to futuretoolbox.co.uk, visit our shop, and you can find on there a choice, actually, of how to bullet journal or our 5-minute daily journal. And they're really, really good for keeping your life on track. Of course, they're also available on Amazon. You can also go to our free resources section and find an online tracker as well and download that and work through it. It's very, very simple. We're also on social media on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. We have a YouTube channel, and you can reach out to us on LinkedIn because we are
everywhere.
Of course, we are everywhere. We look forward to joining you in the next episode. So have a fabulous, fun-filled February.
And begin to make yourself feel better.
See you soon.
Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for the Z2A of Life Skills with Jules and Mark of the Future Toolbox. Don't forget to head over to their website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk, where you can find lots of free resources, plus a host of books in the store, as well as subscribing to the membership site. Follow Future Toolbox Instagram, TikTok and Facebook at Future Toolbox, and subscribe to their YouTube channel too.